Okay, so you guys are never going to believe this. This whole Harry and Meghan thing. It just keeps getting crazier. I mean, you think you've heard all, right? Oprah interview, Netflix doc, the Meghan drama. But trust me, this is a whole new level of bonkers. Basically, Tom Bower, who is like a super famous investigative journalist in the UK. The guy takes down billionaires for fun, just dropped a massive bombshell in court. And it's not just some tabloid rumor. This was sworn testimony under oath. Apparently, it could completely rewrite the royal family as we know it. So, Bower has been digging into Meghan's past, specifically her first marriage to this producer, Trevor Engelson. That's how it's spelled, I think. And he's claiming that things weren't as clean-cut as Meghan and Harry have always made out. Like, supposedly Trevor was still in the picture even after Harry came along. Now, this is where it gets really insane. Bower is suggesting that Archie, Harry, and Meghan's son might not actually be Harry and Meghan's son. I know, right? You could hear a pin drop in the courtroom of Harry. Looked like he was about to faint, and Meghan straight up fled the room in tears. It's like something out of soap opera, but this is real life, and the implications are huge. Bower is calling it Operation Cuckoo, which, let's be honest, is a pretty catchy name for a scandal. He's claiming that there was a secret DNA test done right after Archie was born and that the results were hidden away in a vault because they could destroy the monarchy. Like if Archie isn't a Windsor, then his place in line for the throne is totally illegitimate. It's a constitutional crisis waiting to happen. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but why would the palace cover this up? Well, Bower's theory is that back in 2019, the royal family was already dealing with a whole Prince Andrew Epstein mess. Another scandal of this magnitude could have completely destroyed their credibility. So, they chose to stay silent, hoping it would all blow over. But that silence, according to Bower, gave Meghan the perfect shield. She knew the palace couldn't call her out without risking everything. So she was free to do whatever she wanted. The Oprah interview, the Netflix series, all of it. And Harry Bower paints him as this tragic figure, completely in the dark, fighting everyone to protect his family, not realizing he might be protecting a lie. It's pretty brutal, honestly. Like, imagine finding out that everything you believed in was a sham. So what's the evidence? While Bower claims to have hotel records, phone logs, and testimony from Palace Insider that show Meghan and Trevor were still in contact during her early relationship with Harry. He also points out the weird secrecy surrounding Archie's birth, the fact that the royal doctors refused to sign the birth certificate, and that Meghan changed information on it later. He's basically saying, why all the mystery if everything was on the up and up? And then there's the timeline. Bower questions why Meghan was in such a rush to get married. Was it because she knew something about Archie's parentage and needed to secure her position before it came out? It's a pretty damning accusation. He even suggests that Meghan used secret email accounts and encrypted messaging apps to communicate with Trevor while she was supposedly falling in love with Harry. Like, was she keeping him as a backup plan in case the whole royal thing didn't work out? It's cold, but Bower is presenting it as a calculated move. And honestly, the fact that Meghan hasn't sued Bower for defamation is kind of suspicious, right? She's quick to sue anyone who even looks at her sideways. So, why the silence now when her entire reputation is on the line? Okay, so the craziest part, this isn't just some he said, she said thing. Bower apparently has a whole damn diagram, a timeline of Meghan's life from 2013 to 2018, and he's calling it the record of overlaps. Like he's laid out all the evidence in black and white for the court to see. He starts with Meghan's divorce from Trevor. The official story is that she was totally independent, ready to start a new chapter, right? But Bower claims that's BS. He says they were still connected even after she met Harry. He's got hotel records, phone logs, even testimony from people who used to work for them, all pointing to this secret connection. And get this, Bower says there were these weird gaps in Meghan's schedule while she was filming Suits in Toronto. Like, she'd just disappear for a few days. And guess who else was taking unpublicized trips during those same gaps? Trevor Engels. Coincidence? Bower definitely doesn't think so. But the real kicker is the Palace Insider. Bower claims he got information from people who work for the royal family for years. people who saw everything from behind the scene. They stayed quiet out of loyalty to the Queen, but they finally decided to talk because they couldn't keep the secret anymore. Can you imagine the kind of dirt these people have? Bauer is basically saying that the palace knew something was up with Archie's paternity, but they chose to ignore it to avoid a scandal, and now it's all coming back to bite. He keeps asking these questions that no one can answer. Why was Archie's birth so shrouded in secrecy? Why didn't the royal doctor sign the birth certificate? Why did Meghan change the information on it later? It's like he's building this case piece by piece, and it's pretty convincing, honestly. And it's not just Meghan he's going after. He's also taking aim at Harry's judgment. He's painting him as this puppet who was manipulated by Meghan, who was so blinded by love that he couldn't see what was really going on. It's harsh, but Bauer is known for being ruthless. He even claims the royal security forces had concerns about Meghan's relationships before the wedding. They apparently wrote reports about it, raising red flags about Trevor's continued presence in her life, but those reports were ignored. Or maybe Harry never even saw them. It's like a conspiracy, honest. And then Bauer looks straight at Harry in court and says, "The truth doesn't belong to anyone. It simply exists, and my job is to bring it out of the dark cellar where it's been buried." Can you imagine the look on Harry's face? It's like he's being told that his whole life is a lie. Bauer is really playing up the whole master strategist angle with Meghan. He's saying that Trevor wasn't just some ex-husband she forgot about. He was her lifeline, the guy who knew everything about her ambitions, her secrets. And Bauer is suggesting that she never really cut ties with him, that she kept him around as a backup plan in case the royal thing didn't work out. He even questions whether Meghan was really in love with Harry or if she just saw him as a ticket to the top. He says she rushed the wedding because she knew about Archie's paternity and needed to secure her position before anyone found out. It's a pretty brutal accusation, but Bauer is presenting it as a logical conclusion based on the evidence. And if Archie isn't Harry's son, then he has no right to be in the line of succession. It's a national fraud, a constitutional violation. That's why Bauer is calling Operation Cuckoo, because he thinks Meghan basically swapped out the royal baby with someone else's kid. It's insane, I know, but that's what he's claiming. So then Bauer gets into this whole thing about the palace knowing all along. He's saying that Queen Elizabeth was super strict about the bloodline thing. She wasn't going to let any funny business slide. So he claims that right after Archie was born, they did a secret DNA test, like a routine health check that was anything but route. But here's the kicker. That test result gone, vanished, hidden away in some super secret vault in the wine cellar with only the top royals having access. Come on, that's straight out of a movie. And the reason they hid it, according to Bauer, is because the royal family was already drowning in scandal with Prince Andrew. Another paternity mess, especially involving the direct line to the throne, would have been the end of them. So they chose to keep it quiet, hoping it would all go away. But that silence, Bauer says, just made things worse. It gave Meghan the power. She knew they couldn't expose her without destroying themselves. So she ran wild with the interviews and the documentaries. She basically played them. And poor Harry is just stuck in the middle of it all, thinking he's protecting his family, not realizing he's being used. It's like a Shakespearean tragedy, honestly. Now, the silence from Meghan and Harry, that's deafening. She sued people for way less. So why not sue Bauer? He's betting his entire career on this, and all she has to do is take a DNA test to shut him up. But she's not, and that's what's making people think there might be something to this. Harry's apparently living like a total recluse in Montecito, completely isolated. Can you imagine sacrificing everything for someone and then finding out it might all be a lie? It's heartbreaking. And Archie, if this is true, he's going to lose everything. His title, his place in line for the throne, his entire identity. It's a brutal thing to do to a kid. Bauer's testimony has basically thrown a grenade into the royal family. It's not just a family drama anymore. It's a question of national legitimacy. If the evidence comes out, Parliament is going to have to get involved. They'll have to subpoena DNA evidence, question Trevor Angle's son, and dig into Meghan's past. It'll be a complete circus. And even if it's not true, the damage is already done. Every picture of Harry and Archie, Every happy family moment is now tainted with doubt. It's like a dark cloud hanging over everything. So what happens next? Well, Bauer claims he has more evidence to reveal. Documents, communications, maybe even testimony from Trevor himself. The Sussexes are in a tough spot. If they sue, they risk having to reveal everything. If they stay silent, the accusations just keep growing. Section 18. The palace is also screwed. If they confirm Bauer's claims, they admit to a years-long cover-up. If they deny it without proof, they look complicit. It's a complete mess for everyone involved. Honestly, the only winners here are the tabloids. They're having a field day with this. But for Harry, Meghan, Archie, and the monarchy, it's a disaster. And the big questions remain. Is Bauer lying? Why hasn't Meghan sued him? If the palace is proof that Archie is a Windsor, why aren't they showing it? And why does Harry look so miserable? It's a crazy story, and it's far from over. The drama will continue to unfold, and we'll be here to bring you every update. But for now, that's where things stand. The royal family is facing one of its biggest scandals yet, and it's all because of allegations about Archie's paternity. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out.